video is intended to describe Terra Nueva, or New Earth, in both a talisman and a power pack format, and joining me on this tour will be my whimsical stick figure chakra map for visual cue reference. So first things first, we'll be discussing the primary blade band seen here and here in one shot, starting off with moss green agate as the quintessential stabilization of the heart chakra in the water elemental ray. When it comes to agates or jaspers, they are the most stable vibration of their corresponding color, emanation, and elemental correspondence. So having the most stabilizing heart stimulant as a primary ignition is very advantageous to honor the archetypal concept of the New Earth portal, New Terra Nueva, stabilized as a preface. So the moss green agate seen here and here, of course, plays a very critical role in bringing great stability to the entire vibratory output of the blade banding seen here, as well as three other constructs of the same exact ignition sequence, that being the New Earth Terra Nueva set, will all, of course, share this particular blade band emanation as a primary focus as they generate vibrational compound interest together as a very ambitious, lovely set. So I think that's enough about moss green agate to work as the most stabilizing aspect of the terrestrial green ray physical heart correspondence. Now, moving on to golden healer quartz. Golden healer quartz is an essential gold white light higher heart stimulant to spirit, or basically the emanations of the great central sun of creation. So that being said, as a great direct source frequency emanation to subcapacitate the frequency, having the transference of the physical stabilized heart could be argued to say it'd be a very advantageous heaven to earth tangibility range of the portal of the heart to be the primary focus of the New Earth endeavor. So moss green agate once again into golden rutilated quartz with such a source and stable frequency, giving a stronger intensification acceleration with rutilated quartz into the stability of moss green agate, was very advantageous for this platform to further intensify that heavenly stabilized energy into the tangible range. So oftentimes rutilated quartz can be used sparingly because it is a very powerful accelerant of other energies around it, but in the aspect of the New Earth portal, it makes for a very lovely stabilization intensification of this primary octave blade band. So then going into moss green agate into golden healer quartz once again. So obviously the aspect of the staggering of golden healer quartz and rutilated quartz, as seen as the gold element of the Terra Nueva construct, is staggered to have the stabilization of the heart chakra into the heavenly emanation, into the stabilization, into the intensification, into more stabilization. So it's a very, very good platform. So obviously what I described there goes into this lateral band. As well as this power pack, it is of course identical in the exact vibratory ignition sequence seen right here, except this guy actually has clear quartz to work as a neutral accelerant of that same exact blade band described to be an intensification but neutral ambience of that energy, which can also serve as a way to have the program be neutrally carried through the construct of Terra Nueva. So that's the only differentiation in the blade band seen on the power pack with larger substantial size, as opposed to the talisman seen right here. So that would be the New Earth portal blade band discussed in pretty good notoriety, and so obviously there will be three more constructs to notarize as the time comes, but this is a good foundation to at least get the ball rolling into progression. So I'll go ahead and discuss the entire fine points of the power pack first before I get further into the talisman, because the talisman's a little more complex in nature, but this power pack is relatively simplistic in its sequence, yet of a large size to be a natural ambient cassette, if you would, of this ambitious endeavor that's currently underway in my queue of endeavors. Starting off with the Lemurian clear quartz and a large concentrated size seen right here to be the neutral heart of the construct, to be the program carrier neutral amplifier of the Terra Nova broadcast. or Terra Nueva. I like calling it Terra Nova, even though it's not right. But anyhow, that's the clear quartz main heart of the construct, running through the circulation of the entire closed loop circuit. Then going into a large substantial piece of golden healer quartz seen right here, which, like I mentioned, is an impeccable gold white light source emanation connection, which I find to be metaphysically irreplaceable in the endeavors of vibrational engineering. To have a direct source energy alignment goes a very long way, particularly in a heavy dose, next to the main heart for the neutral termination of that gold white light energy of source creation running through the apparatus, but most importantly, in a very stabilized heart chakra transferability to the physical realm. Hence, you can consider this to be another ambitious endeavor to bring heaven to earth in a vibrational sense. So right here is a very special piece of white calcite, which is very underrated in the mineral kingdom for metaphysical use, in my humble opinion, due to the fact of it being a white ray fire elemental clearer of the full spectrum of the 7 electromagnetic rays of the white ray to clear any sanctities from top to bottom of the auric field. Yet, what makes this a very special rendition is that this has been tumbled by the ocean. So literally hundreds, thousands of years, God literally knows how long that's been tumbled by the ocean on the Oregon coast. But the whole point about that is that Mother Ocean tumbled this into the smooth shape seen here, which is literally an oceanic clearing imprintation that polished the stone, which is very intrinsic to its entire vibratory output nature, which is very spectacular to have oceanic clearing in a circuit, obviously. So seen right here, this would be seraphinite. So many of these components mentioned here, of course, will be on here as well. So I will, of course, notarize the talisman's constructs that are compatible, because many of these aspects will have compatible frequencies to, of course, ensure vibrational compound interest. So describing one here will, of course, notarize the other one, which I will take the time, of course, to point out which one it is for reference. But a very critical component for the Terra Nueva project is seen here and here, seraphinite. Seraphinite is an incredible green ray frequency stone named after the seraphim archangels that is a tremendous full light body stimulant, as well as a master healer for any patterns that are basically like malware of not the highest ideal spiritual configuration manifest on a physical avatar, to rapidly dismantle any patterns of dis-ease or disharmonious energies from the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional bodies, very simultaneously also serving as a tremendous etheric bridger of any kind of discoherencies manifesting as physical imbalance in that capacity. So it is a true master healer for that purpose. Then seen right here, next to that is infinitite, seen here and here. Infinitite is a very special variety of serpentine that's unfortunately very rare, but thank goodness the will of the Force has a way of supplying me obscure, high vibratory, rare, exotic crystals for particular projects. So divine sponsorship smiled upon me for this acquisition, of course, and here, once again, infinitite being a variety of serpentine that comes from South Africa, that's very rare these days. Based on its metaphysical notoriety and its exclusivity, it is very hard to find in this pristine format. So, that right there is a fantastic full Kundalini stimulant by its own right, just like any kind of natural serpentine. Yet the special aspect of this particular version of serpentine also works as a fantastic decrystallization patterns of the lower 4 chakras of the root, sacrum, solar plexus, and the heart chakra, as well, of course, the 5th, but the concentration range of decrystallizing any stored stagnant patterns is rapidly amended by this particular frequency. So naturally, having those two together, of being infinitite and seraphinite, is very advantageous for a fully healthy, flowing, ambient energy field, or A.K.A. a pristine light body. Then seen right here would be the lovely white ray stone of divinity named scolasite. Scolasite is an incredible 6th and 7th, 8th non-physical chakra all the way back to the Godhead stimulant of what I consider to be a quintessential stone of divinity. And so it brings a very intensively soothing divine perception to the conscious self, as well as the crown chakra and third eye in tandem, to be a very, very calming divine emanation alignment frequency, which can be considered the highest witness self and the conscious self realized, which is very, very nice together, of course, with everything else with this blissful construct. Then right here is both basalt or black lava rock, which is quite lovely as a tremendous stone of primordial earthy fire, literally formed by lava activity, and it carries that natural Pele or Mother Earth fire emanation, kind of like the nodal points of her entire meridian system is represented here to be a very powerful lava induction frequency, which is, of course, very compatible with the New Earth portal. So that would, of course, be the entirety of the power pack described just about, which I will just do this right now. I usually save the selenite dissertation for last in these videos, but since it's a tandem pair description, I'll go ahead and take care of it right now. The selenite seen here and here makes for by itself a very fantastic 6th, 7th, and 8th, all the non-physical chakras back to the Godhead higher self, conscious self alignment perception range. It also works great to clear stagnant energies from the entire energy field from the entire top to bottom, which is very nice in its own right. But why I always save these for last is oftentimes after I have a full dissertation of all the different components, it's this feature that makes it quite critical in a functional Spirit Tech lightblade platform. Is taking all these frequencies mentioned thus far, and also, of course, this will be a lot of context for the talisman's further intricate nature, and purifying all the frequencies in a closed-loop reactive circuit, harmonizing all of these frequencies together, and amplifying and intensifying. So what I always say is it's a very triumphant trifecta to have the purification of all these frequencies in one circuit, the amplification, and the harmonization as a truly triumphant trifecta. So that works as a great foundation for any given light tech device for that matter, because that's pretty awesome. And for this guy right here is the 4 spectrums of kyanite. So the kyanite of the different ranges have different stimulations. So in more ambitious projects, the 4 will be utilized. And since this will be a stationary power pack, that will be, of course, wielded at the discretion of the wielder, obviously next to a nightstand for sleeping or, whatever, of course, her guidance calls her to do with it. It makes it a very dynamic, versatile range of the New Earth broadcast, by having the black kyanite rapidly ground all the energy through the root chakra into the earth stars and into the earth for reprocessing at a very, very quick rate, which, on that note, black kyanite can almost serve as a surge protector to ensure the excess energy, whatever construct is in play, has a very strong grounding bypass into the earth to tangibilize and bring comfort to the frequency pitch. Yet, obviously, by me mentioning the Moss-Green Agate being the most stabilized heart stimulant mineral kingdom, that is very inherent of being a very stabilized output for all these New Earth Portal Terra Nueva devices. Going into orange kyanite, a rapid stimulant of the sacrum to the highest capacity. Green kyanite, a very rapid transferability of the optimum green heart chakra. Into blue kyanite, an ultimate neural pathway 6th chakra stimulant. So when you take the 4 kyanites together, it makes the most rapid transferabilities of this energy, and luckily a very stabilized filter with the Terra Nueva blade banding to the highest octave, which is very intrinsic for actually successful energetic broadcast file transfers, which I'm getting almost kind of too meta, so I'm going to go ahead and police myself and keep things relative, because whenever the kyanites are mentioned in great dissertations, it's almost like it gets very, very challenging, I guess, to keep it very linear and pragmatic based on the metaphysical prowess they all produce together in a synergistic way of rapid transfers of energy that are very idyllic for magic to actually make tremendous tangible energetic shifts of great energy vibrational alterations. So for the Terra Nueva talisman, The employment of blue and black kyanite was intentional to have the very strict transfers of the ground point as well as the third eye in this capacity to bring a more of a neutral range to this entire emanation that'll be worn in a more passive format, obviously wearable on the person, to be a nice dose in the talisman format to maintain this vibratory output. So, starting with the blade band apex right here would be ruby and zoisite. Ruby, a quintessential red ray root chakra stimulant mineral kingdom, very well notarized, very quite famous. Oh, actually, this is not for looks, actually to keep the paper down for dissertation's sake. It makes for a great paperweight, though. Ruby is a fantastic red ray root chakra stimulant of the mineral kingdom of great notoriety as well as royal recognition. That's very nice. But the aspect of the green zoisite in the same matrix also makes for a very powerful heart-mind coherence engagement, which is essential for the Terra Nueva construct to have the heart-mind coherence at a high focus. Then with the zest of ruby, it makes for a truly dynamic heart-mind coherence grounded into tangible range, so even a small dose a long way in a reactive circuit goes beautifully. And so for the talisman, to add a little more juice to the very stabilized new earth portal seen before me, is fulgurite. Fulgurite is petrified lightning, literally the power of lightning struck sand, mimicking the energy of lightning, which is a very powerful full light body stimulant, as well as a tremendous spirit tool utilized by First Nation shamans of old to intensify their prayers back to Spirit, Creator, in service to the people. So it's a classic shamanic amplification agent of great magical notoriety, seen here, but of course there's a wire running through it into the primary wire, so that it takes that sequence of lightning and runs it through the circuit. But like I said 5 times before, thank goodness this is a very heart-centered, stabilized platform of the Terra Nueva, the new Earth. So, I already described the Seraphinite and the Infinitite with the power pack. This right here will be Moldavite. Moldavite is the quintessential green ray storm elemental chakra activator of great spiritual significance that is quite potent and quite notarized in its timeline for being very dramatic in its obvious magical yields, manifesting in reality based on it being such a pristine heart aligner to one's highest dharmic path, like the quintessential dharmic accelerant. So, a little dose of Moldavite in this heavily green ray construct will go a very long way to synchronize the new Earth receptivity portal in service to the wielder, as well as another synchronistic boost to manifest one's highest dharmic path into tangible range. And I already described the black lava rock as well as the scoicite. Okay, so that'd be the primary blade face and the blade banding discussed. So going into the transmutation ratio seen right here, starting off with hematite and smoky quartz running like so lateral, going up the sides right here to this lateral band, circulating back to here, consisting of hematite and smoky quartz. Hematite is a fantastic metal-based grounder of all this energy into the root, into the earth stars, into the earth meridian matrix reprocessing. In tandem with smoky quartz, grounding all the excess energy through the root, much like etheric composting, if you would. Makes the two together basically, of course, work like ketchup and fries. They're a very fantastic combination, hence the transmutation ratio. And they both have the same exact energetic pathway of grounding all the excess energy into Mother Earth for reprocessing, which can be denoted to a two-way energetic dialysis to purify the field consistently, or as a joke I refer to as etheric Teflon, to ensure the negativity always grounds through very rapidly into the Earth for two-way reprocessing, as well as a very important aspect of being a grounding contingency of all these exotic frequencies in one closed reactive to ensure the grounding pathway of this entire lovely new Earth portal energy of great, calming, beautiful, beneficent vibration gets into the Earth for the tangibility of the magic. That's perhaps might be the most important part too, to actually make it real. Okay, so this next section I'll be discussing will be where the hood will be installed with this lovely Celadon sage green leather with a little strip of the forest green at the very top, which will actually look very much in honoring of its bigger sister, the wand that's still in development, that is yet to be completed by the time of this video. So that will have many purposes. A, the lovely green ray color emanation. B, the way to, of course, condense and insulate this energy through the blade face as well as the apex band. C, a way to protect all these subtle stones right here as they fulfill their function, living happily ever after with the recipient. And D, it's also an aesthetic completion, which is very nice. So it is indeed actually a functional component more than just looks. So that's the idea. And of course, it gives the construct a more completed appearance for its service to the servant of creation this is going to. So starting off with this guy right here, this would be amber. Amber, technically not a mineral, but also a very well famously used ally, almost crystalline, I guess you could say, ally of abundance and transmutation in its own right, of a very earthy nature to purify negativity into positivity, which is another prerogative of the Terra Nova construct. So the amber makes for another, just like smoky quartz, purification of negativity into positivity, much like a filter, in the construct as a whole. Then right here be blue lace agate to bring stability to the 5th chakra, another water elemental frequency. Then right here will be kunzite, a very lovely lithium-based pink ray heart calmer, which is very, of course, complementary to the primary stabilized source heart water energy. Nice little dose of kunzite goes a long way. Then a little bit of lapis. Lapis, of course, being a quintessential stone of magic and notoriety of the 5th and 6th chakras. Then a little bit of that oceanic calcite, described much like this guy right here, found right there. Then right here, try to get a proper angle for this guy, would be the lovely shungite. Shungite goes a very long way for being a tremendous carbon-based purification agent and very much in vogue in this timeline for its notarization to turn negativity into positivity, obviously transmutation, but also the aspect of mitigating EMF 5G wavelengths that would be harmful for the subtle DNA of the functioning proper auric field. So that aspect right there is represented in a small dose that, of course, in a reactive circuit will go a very long way. Then right here will be black tektite. Black tektite is a fantastic product of a meteorite impacting sand, literally carrying that extraterrestrial jolt into creation, being quite the tremendous full light body stimulant. But since it's a black ray frequency, it actually has a strong ground up emanation fortification of high vibration that's grounded, thank goodness, so that the entire light body is stimulated from a ground up perspective, which is very actually practical and tangible. Hence, these are almost in every construct of any kind for many years for this exact reason. Even strictly transmutation platforms oftentimes will be equipped with black tektite to increase the threshold vibration of the emanation. Say that 5 times fast. And so at the very, very apex of this device right here, right there, is a very fantastic faceted piece of green tourmaline, which is just like emerald and moss green agate, a very powerful, impeccable green ray heart chakra stimulant that is very nice and very complementary to this lovely stabilized new earth portal platform before me. Then the apex band seen right here will be consisting of the abundance ratio in a miniaturized format. So at the time of this video, it's been a very big crusade of the abundance platform in literally 18 renditions in short succession by the time I filmed this video right here, which I'm sure will of course add more because it's become its own entity, its own driving force. But here is a compatible resonance of what I deemed the abundance ratio that's been in heavy distribution right now. Starting off with clear quartz to be a neutral accelerant into peridot. Peridot being a 3rd and 4th chakra stimulant, which essentially is crystalline vibration of chlorophyll, the aspect of how this all grows, which is very obviously complementary to this entire concept of the new earth. To have the green ray abundance being of a highlighted prevalence seen right here as well. Clear quartz into the famous emerald. Emerald is an amazing green ray heart chakra stimulant of great notoriety as the quintessential stone of abundance, literally praised for thousands of years, been utilized by philosophers, wizards, royals, magi, you name it. Everybody has loved emerald quite a bit. And it's very, very steeped in legend and belief in the human morphic field of thought of green ray abundance emerald. So that, of course, would be the blade band recirculating. So, and then for both of these devices, the primary core of both of these actually is hewn from Palo Santo, holy wood. So that's a very nice little reference of the core of these devices being of holy wood. And that would be the entirety of the Terra Nueva talisman described. And as a little side note at the very end, this alligator clip with the primary wire has been installed to be able to clip into a bigger mainframe in the possession of the custody of this recipient receiving this to work as a cassette flash external hard drive, if you would, to be able to plug it back in, and as well as a way to have a direct termination sequence to the charging apparatus she has in her custody and the one that'll be developed for to be complementary of this particular frequency initiative. But this right here can serve as a way to ground into another primary wire of the same compatible technology to have a direct resonance to have the emanations actually transfer into each other for direct hardwired vibrational compound interest. So of course also that can serve as a great way to plug it in to a mainframe of existing nature as well as the one yet to be developed. To, of course, keep this guy charged at tip-top shape in direct correspondence running through the primary into the primary of the main vein of these devices. There'll be sentient, amazing constructs before me. So I'm going to go ahead and clip that back on there. And also, of course, when not plugged in, this could very easily be just hooked back to here so that it's not too obtrusive when the recipient is wielding the construct. Well, that went by pretty quick. And so that would, of course, be the first two notarized entries of the Terra Nueva New Earth portal set in current queue of my endeavors. And 1,000 blessings, and may the force be with us all.